Yo, welcome back to Shopped and Skewed. You're with me as usual. Terrence, I was about to say something. I was about to ruin the surprise.
Yeah, I don't ruin it.
I caught myself. As usual, you're with me and the homeboy here.
Kill Samaro.
Yeah. We also would like to announce that we have a new co-host. Yeah, I don't think we can call him a guest, right?
Nah. This is his home as well.
Yeah, this is his home. Like at this point, it practically belongs here. It's my. I was about to say Swisher. Can I call you Swisher?
Yeah, definitely.
Yo, it's Tawanda in the building. Welcome, my guy.
Give it up.
Give it up, yeah. My son, Don't worry about it.
Brother.
Yeah, my G, welcome back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. How long is it? When was that?
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
It's been almost a year.
Almost.
It was like what? No, it can't be a year.
I'm telling you guys. Has to be almost a year.
No, because like
that was before the Live and Unplugged last year. Yeah?
When was the Live and Unplugged?
That's like June.
Yeah, that was June. Yeah, that should have been like around.
And I'd come back for that.
Should have been around March.
March, eh?
Yeah, so
it's
almost
been
a year. Damn.
And then it's just like I was actually thinking about it in Little Good Day. And I was like, so like those things catch me.
Yeah.
About I think to my woman also like last year.
Yeah.
Kasai again.
Awesome. No, glad to have you back, bro. Glad to have you back.
Definitely.
As always. What's been going on in your world, my G?
Ish, man. What has it?
Okay, I wanted to break down this conversation. Of course, structured in my Kanye.
Yeah.
But I wanted to break it down into we'll do half music, three divisions. Music, design, and then anything else that comes out.
Life.
Yeah, and then life in general. So let's start with life. Let's start with life.
Yeah.
Like, what has been going on in your world besides the usual?
A lot of adjustment. It's been a year of, I can say last year was a year of adjustment.
Yeah.
A year of acceptance.
that's deep, bro.
Yeah.
From where? Like acceptance of what? The changes?
Yeah, of what's happening. You know what I mean? Like, how do I say this? I'm very like I don't want to say lazy. That's the wrong word. Is it like disical is a word, isn't it?
Which?
Okay.
It's a very laissez-faire. Very laissez-faire.
That's what you've become?
No, that's how I was looking at all of this music thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, from the bottom of my heart, I make music because I can, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Goodie, like this is something that like I'm able to do and like I really enjoy the process.
Yeah.
So sometimes my music like ndamaliza nyimbo ija and that's enough.
Yeah.
But I said nyimbo then sometimes but so it has been like as I've been traveling or like getting calls for bookings, getting told that man, I can't go anywhere, you know what I mean? I can't go anywhere without like somebody. I said, when I say anyway, bro, like I mean it, you know what I mean? And like
true.
I didn't want to like accept it, you know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
okay.
It's not as intense like it's what
yeah, it was new.
Yeah, and I was being almost like ungrateful to like a blessing, you know. You had to take and try with that man. Like,
this is good. This is
so like there's clearly people that are counting on your output.
Yeah,
people
exactly.
who are counting on you to continue what you've started.
This, yeah.
And that was like one of the really most important things I had to accept. Okay, so we're definitely doing is easy, and then
pretty much just accepting what it in a celebrity. Put it in like to shorten it.
Yeah.
But I try with this
people know me.
Now an expectation of something from me, and of course it's not like great to live your life on people's expectations. You have to respect like the things that you kick off. You have a responsibility for making people. I think I was watching somewhere if people fall in love with you, you have a responsibility for like
to like manage that,
to manage that, because
unless otherwise tazambizi ndizimakhawuti mbisaweke
was it good?
It's an art yokuthi ngati watsegula Spotify yako kuti uzibanga uploads ngini ngati watsegula YouTube channel ngati watsegula page yako kapa Instagram whatever it is and you're putting out art implication yake ndiyokuthi at some point people will find it and they will appreciate it. So once that happens, you can't say no to it. As you're saying, it does make it feel like you're being a little bit ungrateful.
100%.
Speaking of, I say, why? When I was thinking my crazy fans are just obsessing over you and stuff like that. Especially the females.
Fortunately, nothing like that.
Nothing too crazy.
Nothing that you know of.
Maybe actually I should say
you wouldn't know.
If the stock is good enough, if they're a good enough stock and they're like
movement.
Exactly. They know exactly what you're doing.
Fact. Yeah, no, I haven't made anything like that. I've actually just come across like a lot of people who it's very like humbling. They really are touched by like the music. So it's almost as if ukuziona weka, because like a lot of the music that I'm making is like exactly. Like I'm really trying to tell this story. So like to meet somebody and then they're talking like you know, they're like, I say, man, oh my God, and then you're looking at that and you're like, I say, but this is so cool. So it's like, those are like a lot of the fans. I'll call them fans because like it's such a heavy word. A lot of the supporters.
It is what it is.
A lot of the people who like really like the music. They've just like shown me to continue. They've just shown me. I look at these things and it's
for all of us.
All of us.
And like when a song transcends, like when it leaves my studio and then it's like belongs to other people, that's what really makes me feel good. There's times when like I'm performing in Njwanga and I might as well not even be there. You know what I mean? Like Pena, like I was performing, I think Mawanga at Members and like,
and it's everyone else doing the work for you.
It was like I might as well not even be here, you know. And like those are the things really like this is no longer in my hands.
Craziest thing, I saw Status Yago this morning. Posted a video with those Young K and Young K. I don't know how that felt for you. But I was just picturing it. Did I call it Ineo? I think Basninga say we even. I'm like, hey, okay, cool, it's done. It's done. Because, like, what was that moment for you? Like, how did that feel?
So, like, you know, Nimaziwara wouldn't do the so I was just like, yeah, this is cool. You know? So I was like, yeah, this is really cool. This is really cool. And then, like, Viru, my girlfriend, she was like, hey, I said, this is really cool.
This is a big deal,
And I was like, oh, damn.
The OGs, bro.
Because like I'm looking at it like, because Tawanda, or I guess now when we're Swisher, it's like an outer ego that's really separated. But then Tawanda is like Ineo. So, but then I still feel that separation. Tawanda Jagufili.
That is
from the artist to Jagufili. So sometimes like I was looking at that and I was like, hey, these guys are singing the song. Hey, I'm never looking at it like with my song, it's something that I would have to be reminded of. It's not like I'm not always. I think Mina so it's like a defense mechanism against ego.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
no,
about to say when I saw like it should get to your head, eh?
Yeah, absolutely do. But I say like when it gets to your head,
yeah,
done,
that's when
bro.
you lose it. That's when you
You're
lose it.
Done. And from that moment, it just
and
ended.
I feel like even to how you put out the art, or kalawudi you're expecting, or you're in the zone. You're going, okay, I'm talking to feel. How you put out art and how you make your art is different.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just make this stuff.
Yeah.
Come on, when you're expecting good, okay, he so he grandpa just I feel
Yeah,
so.
he's like feel
I was like that was like
That's crazy.
Nah, but that was a very cool moment.
Yeah,
like I saw
man.
that, I was like, does this nigga even understand like
gravity of
the
the
gravity of the
situation.
situation? Yeah.
Yeah, no, like even when I put it up, it was like, well, damn, man. Like, this is
the
real.
moment. Yeah, it's
this
real.
Is just definitely real.
Awesome.
Nah, that's crazy. There, Jenny. The production side of things.
Yeah.
Did that take like a backseat? Kamena, you still doing it?
Now I'm in the studio.
You back, yeah?
Panoba, like I'm back.
Yeah.
Panoba, like I'm fully back.
Yeah. If I go to production now, I think a lot of people wouldn't recognize good.
Yeah.
This is his hand, magud. Koma, ena fere masio.
I think a lot of people don't even. But then I think I'm over the produced by Tawanda. You know.
Yeah.
I really just want to like make the music and make sure like the beat reaches its top level.
Yeah.
And like what I've seen is like because of how I was doing music, so skill matter. If you're not paying attention to like skill ya goija, imafika mpaka na my bare minimum ababa bwana
zamba kuvuta
pitizo bana zibwana basi, you know, you won't even be able to open FL. So I think like 6 months ago I was like, you know, Dayden, this is a great FL. Dayden, this is a great FL, and this is my BD. And bas, I just want to be super comfortable in FL again, because I could listen to like my old beats and I'd be like,
what's going
what's
on?
happening here? I was like, but like I'm listening to that, it sounds like there's a lot of effort in it, but then I'm thinking now and I'm like, panoba umaziziwa. You get it? I'm like, panoba umaziziwa. You're not maybe able to like redo it, Gigi. But if you add that extra gear, you're gonna get better.
So it's like a combination of the effort, and then plus the experience and the knowledge that you now have.
Listening, because the practical thing, I was doing a lot of listening. So I've been listening to music, man. Like I said, I'm vera nyimbo. Vera nyimbo ndalo is a melody, you know what I mean? Some beat. I've been putting that type of effort in, but like I wasn't like making beats. Like my beats like having at the bass. I kind of like left it on the back burner. So for my album, all the beats in there, but I just made sure that this is going to be like sound during the craft from the beginning. And then we're adding people after my demos. So all the demos are done, and then now we're adding in. Okay, Robert, let's try to work on this one. What do you think we should put on this beat? Because again, beat singati waker.
Okay, like crazy. I was listening. No, I was watching a TikTok. Guys. Just let it be known. I was watching a TikTok. This guy, he was producing some song, and he was talking about that. Who was this? I just forgot who exactly it was. Komano, he was talking about how a beat is never made by one person. A beat is never like that explicitly. No, it's beat. It's never one person that makes a beat. Like, and which was crazy because here, start to finish, is it good? What happens?
I'm gonna go boys see many in a job.
It?
Yeah, it's not good. I'm a
someone else was involved.
Yeah, people don't credit. So it's actually funny. When it comes to crediting, and then I'm like, I know a lot of Malawian like producers or artists, Kanye credit is mavuta. Just say that straight up. I just say zimavuta kwambiri. It's like zimakanga dumina amaona ngalizajo saudolo like or something like that.
Yeah.
But like I look at it from like you have to be very comfortable with your talents. Yeah. So first of all, you have to be like, good, I say in the matter. Is this in the matter? And then because in the matter kwambiri, ndugumupanga call up wagodi.
Yeah.
Because I am able to see ndikuta kwanga.
Yeah.
Okay. But like other people can see that, they have that awareness, they will do it, but then they will not credit.
Twnda,
yeah, that's usually.
Awareness if credit, even if they're aware, okay, this person would make this better.
Yeah.
Commando be they're still not comfortable with what they have done.
Awareness is evil, but then it's ina.
Awareness
I'm more aware of the truth. That I'm feeling Robert.
That's the thing.
I want to do cinema. Mbuyo muso ni makanga ndukauza antu kuti ni mabanga guitar. Sindisanduka kabi. It's ego. But ego is the most dangerous thing in the
arts.
Yeah.
It's the most dangerous thing.
I've seen something recently. I think it was Chris Do. Shout out Chris Do. I was
your fave.
My fave. Amagambas are hiring. Yeah. So, like, say, I have an agency. We'll get into the design stuff later, but come on, anyway. I have an agency, or I've started an agency. That's just me, yeah? And I want to hire people.
Yeah.
Most people hire Fana Uda, men.
Yeah.
But he was talking about the smart thing to do is to hire Mutoni to do what's highway.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
For then there's actually value being added.
Strong value
being added. Sutus kaso mwangana ndala jawudi agutani. Sutus kwa mpaka correct maojinage. So if you want to build on to something, you have to be at a point, and I'm just relating it to the comfortable thing. Yeah? You have to be comfortable enough to say, this person is better than me.
Yeah.
I would rather work with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking about hiring people that he was paying more than he pays himself. Okay, like business with business business structure like different client Twnda to watch mwagut komano for this particular thing ndimasilipila pamwezi bachi ndimasilipila ndama you have that figure komano ndikupeza munthu otuzimulipila iweyo more than your mama's just for the mere origin okay munthu is better at this particular thing. I'll give him whatever he wants. Komano, at the end of the day, you look at the bigger picture of the thing. Same thing as you're saying with like production. Yeah? If you're looking at a song, produce a song. Even or you're getting someone who should work on the beat with you. And you're giving him credit. You still know at the end of the day. Bigger picture.
People are talking about the song.
The song.
That's what people.
So
really
we need to detach.
About.
I feel like this is banga detach ourselves from the thing, and then look at the bigger picture. Yeah.
DJ Khaled made a whole career out off of this.
Yeah. Kungo zije besa.
Identify the talents. Into your bowl. I think that's a way to go.
That's the main thing.
It's a whole thing. Even like I remember I sent it to Smokey, Panobandit manager or Trappy, and he was like, dude, I thought this was an EP because he was looking at the album art and the album art, but we not I did thing. This song was in the Uza with the choir, so I made sure that like everybody's name is there, like. From the producers, mix and mastering, Lamek. Then we have the writers.
What did you send him? What's the thing that you sent him?
They're like, so I did the artwork with like the proper Zindu, a cha-cha, and then like another artwork with all the credits. So he was like, dude, I thought this was an EP, because there's so many credits. But I was like, nah, this is how
everyone deserves it.
Yeah, this is how it works, and that's how you make like top top level music. But they will lie to you. If somebody says Kudi like Nimbo yabino wambili imamuduga ni mtu mosi.
It's not true.
Aband is of vote.
Singateke.
Komano, I'll something that I've always like thought myself, and when I you researched, ngadmunga bangila ku essay. Yeah. Ku essay, a song can be Maporisa. Maporisa, Kabsa, and then
Madumane.
and then Madumane, which is also him.
Yeah.
And then Muna Sanel or whoever else.
Yeah.
So nyimbo ije iwona godi layout yantu right? And Maporisa has previously said I know sometimes I don't even do anything. Come on, got niggas in a bwela kwatu. So mangere go to studio weather.
Got ndai feel.
This is a fagabo zinanga, which some people think is a good thing, which some people, but that's not the discussion here. Split again enda bwanji maiva chapa.
I wouldn't say it's just how you guys decided it. So it's like there's a whole lot of leverage involved in those type of situations. The bigger artist gets the bigger cut, check, most likely, or the person who was asking for the feature. Because I can imagine that like Kabza is leaving with like my points and BD.
Yeah.
I can imagine that my priest is leaving with like something as well. Zimadengera is interesting.
So ima kind of negotiation you're in the first.
If a negotiation even happens. So like with music, there's this thing where you don't know what's gonna happen.
Okay.
So like any song can like be that song say man 10%. So sometimes you're in the studio, bro, you just like and like somebody just lays a verse. And then and immediately you can't even think about my splits, and then you have the song and you guys are pumping to the song and like, guys, this song is fire.
I think I get it.
So it's like everybody's kind of like quiet because nobody wants to like say anything, Nobody wants to have that conversation. No one wants to have the conversation because like either it will stop the song in its tracks, or you will get removed, so it's like a whole leverage type of thing. So it really depends whose song it is. If it's Kabza's song there and there's like
I've never actually thought of that. I think that's what differentiates music from like a lot of things. For instance, let's take my budget project. For example, design. Right? But in Chito, design. The project in the grand. Pakufuniga Asia. Mubanga ma street balls, mubanga design. Mubanga ma adaptations before anything is touched, we can talk about that and like everything is set with a win. In music, I think it's just
it's different.
Vibes,
it hasn't been the vibes. Even when you're sending a song to somebody, like Walai, you're like, I think physics because of Umas. Like you send it to physics. It can just be an instant decision, like maybe you could have sat down on it for like months. I'm not saying is magic, but most of the times it's like a feeling. Because even like the song that you're creating, because you don't premeditate a song. Let me just say that. You don't say, okay, next month. Most likely that doesn't happen. You just start the process. So you like you start a beat, then you're like listening to the beat. Desmond is also magic when you're like recording with people. But like now that there's like clearer value in these things. And to be and like it just also depends on like the artist that you're like talking to. I can say like for example, Kim would tell you what is interested in the popo. You know what I mean? Like in the feature Kim doesn't like Jade to ask you like 4 more questions or ask you how is this thing going to like, go. Then there's like other people where it's more of like a vibe basically. I'm a feel like okay, mungo boya ku studio man. Ndeti bange but mungo boya ku studio you can even tell. Then there's other things where it's like it's just the perfect timing, that's like artist artist like me and Teddy just both singers, Johnny, or just like I said, BD, just like okay,
where it goes, it'll go.
Where whatever happens, and then there's like other situations. Maybe you're dropping an album and you're putting people in. People be like, so it's always in the moment. It's always in the moment, and that's where the difficulty is. I guess.
So now that for example, the song has come out, for example, physics. Just an example. Physics, the DMO, for example. Niggas did that. You initiated the song. Why in my guys? Oh, I talk about okay, so jump on the song. Nyimbo is anumata, mwaidulutsa. Umakaudu waso takale magaewa kapena kosoma ijekamaza kutumiseka tumamita dijama kaudu mungusabu kawa naso kamene gajaga. What's the usual ujeni yake? What's the arrangement panopo?
So from like what would be required in any studio session would be like my split sheets, but then there's this whole the informal side of things. So like if physics set me up for a feature, am I like telling him to give me 50% of the song? You know what I mean? Like that's the question. Like, am I really doing that, or am I?
But then in this case, what's 50% of the song?
50% of the song can vary it, so you can talk about just straight up royalties from Spotify, Apple, all of those international distributors. Then you can also talk about Kosoma. Kosoma, I think basimango karabo. If somebody is just list, if you're Kosoma registered, no senu, bas Kosoma will figure out. Actually, when you're registering the song, you have to actually write down we're adding that 10%.
So
we're adding that 20%.
Kosoma, when the person got it's not just music you're more even the features. I'm a kauda Kosoma you must split agenda.
Because you can't register a song without explaining as many songs. You have to explain the studio you've recorded it in, who the publisher is, who the songwriters are, who the producers are, all of those things. So when you write that, but many people, okay, you know what I've done? Not even recently. Most of the songs because of that whole informal thing. It's a leverage type of thing. How am I going to ask Dust to give me 60% of the song? You know, like how would I ask Kim, or how would Kim be like, no, ndiga mixer only basa 90%. And then you're looking towards this person's good nature. And those are some of the things that actually even determine relationships within the music industry. It's like, hey man, physics gave me a feature, or like, hey, I say Twnda nangu nibasa feature, man, like that's my nigga, you know. And my basically so go guja. Because again, like I said, in music you never know. So like today it's like this, then like tomorrow that person has a hit. You know what I mean? They have a hit again in the streets, and then your song is hitting as well. And then like they're returning the favor. It will call them up. So it's like that's why I always try to maintain to like work with people that we share my values in again.
For sure.
Even AK, I think at the end of like his career was saying, I know I don't charge for features. You send me the beat, you send me the song, we sit down, and then we see what is into that. Then we got 30% super mega. But it's a business transaction, and it can just be how you feel that day.
People honor those kind of wujens. My agreements here. Not trying to call anyone out.
I think we should take a break, guys, for a bit. Let's think on that.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to it.
All right, cool. All right. We are back. We're back. Nice to have it,
But anyway, I've just noticed, Woody, you work a lot in the Jason does, eh? Yeah, I think you guys have how many songs have you done together? Because there's a chemistry there that I've noticed, Woody, when you come together.
That's my brother.
Yeah,
that's a talented guy. You know when I meet talented people, That's the key thing for me. It has to be that. People who just take their thing a little bit more seriously. Yeah. But so like Dust is like one of those people. Which you know, when you're having a conversation about like music with him, he'll tell you something. You know what I mean? It's just what it's not like Alpanga repeat it or even if it's the same stuff, he'll package it in this man is discovers it just isn't like so. That's why. And like again, he also like opened his space up. You know, I used to be his brother's friend, Kwambili, before. And then I said, bros, I tried in the studio, and then so we pulled up, and like he's always kept the studio open. So that's family.
Studio is also
El City. Dope. Ujeni, called Ujeni. I think this is your most underrated song, by the way. Sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Banger, bro. Banger. You know that song was number 6 on my Spotify Wrapped. Yeah. Because I abused that song.
Dope,
no, I've tweeted you a couple of times about it. You don't put it in your set too.
Have I performed? I think I performed Sooner Rather Than Later once.
I've
only put it in this.
I said when the jam.
No, it's a jam.
It's a jam.
I actually have to like. So there's a whole lot of. When I do like a year of acceptance, there's like music is a product at the end of the day. When we remove all the philosophies and all of the like, it's beautiful and it's the highest frequency in the universe, you know, it's like it's a product. So when you have a product, you have to sell it. You have to put it in front of like various people and use all the marketing channels that are like available to you. So because I have that feeling of like you know, I was not looking at those aspects of things when you know, like my video, you know, people want music videos. People want you to like dress up in like things, you know, like you're supposed to wear my shades.
Speaking of dressing up, now what's going on with the reflectors, bro?
How did that come about? Was it accidental? You planned it out?
That's like an actual thing. So, DJ Smindlers is one of my frequent collaborators. We just look at ourselves as Antodi, we're working class men. Like blue collar workers. Somebody magwira chiro yafe ndibazenga my blue collar workers. Guy no design we're constructing things, we're putting up things. So like a lot of times when we were like maybe having an event, to host event in
Mamonyas stuff.
So like before the very first performance, and like we've been doing this for even since Tuka Kuzomba. But then before the first performance at Mzuz, after like Ninga Njwanga blowing up and doing a mad thing, we went to Dap to look for clothes. Nabes and my Reflector. 8! You know, this is exactly I guess this is exactly what's supposed to happen. So like I got all the reflectors and then like my father. And like people recognized, you know what I mean? People saw it and I was like, people can actually like see what this is we did. In fact, when I don't wear one,
it's like,
it's a problem.
I'll be mad if I go you
this come perform. I paid for,
exactly. Actually, they're also like we saw some.
Twnda in post. Like to be nagging Nazi. I think Jamulimbi. Like I parked my car somewhere, right? I was waiting for someone. So no, I would niggas in my pash. And but like it's my reflector. I'd actually make Tawanda a very happy person right now.
Bro, for real.
My stuff you're saying.
I was thinking, okay. Like you know how if we're dropping on merch and the whole shebang. So for you, if someone was to buy Reflector. Not a good match,
No, no,
supporting the artist. You gotta find the way. I say. Well, that's crazy, Uma. Because like, it's nice. Could it happen organically? Yeah? Because most artists spend a lot of time trying to figure out
that thing.
Yeah, that thing. What can set me apart from the rest, guy? Yeah. Is it the way you present yourself, Jinchan?
No, for us, it's been a lot of like preparation. It's funny because today, if it's today, is it today? I need to check my phone. But like 8 years ago, I just like. On my Facebook account, I just wrote Tawanda. The way I write
I saw that. I saw that.
So, like, for me, it was also shocking.
2017, bro. That's crazy, yeah.
But, like, and at that time, I'd made this decision. You get? So, like, even I think last time I came and first said, why Tawanda? Then and I'd explain to that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to, like, be me again. I want to be within. And then at that time, it was good. There were no other... I couldn't write Tawanda the way that I wanted to write it.
Yeah.
So, even when I'd written it that time on my Facebook, it was more of like, good, okay.
I'm declaring it.
We're studying. So for a lot of the stuff that has been happening to us, in fact, this year, I'm calling it like the year of like opportunity meeting preparation. Because like we've been preparing for a lot of this stuff for a long time. Because even Gadizazo Varazo, I was with Vito again, my partner, and we were watching Childish Gambino. Remember Childish Gambino? Is it the internet or something? I'm a Vara outfit in again. I'm trying to remember which album is it. No, what's that? This is America. The one before. He was wearing a specific like. He was just wearing the same outfit. Was it like a hoodie, a juicy? He wore that like to every interview that whole year.
You guys know Ujin, Alex Hamosi?
Nah, bro.
Alex Hamosi. He's this my guy, the content creator who. Basically, he's there to motivate you and inspire you into doing shit. Yeah. So he trains and teaches people how to achieve basically their goals. You can take him from like any angle. He can inspire you to do better in business. He can inspire you to like just do stuff instead of that. So he's that kind of guy. Komano, his signature is Amavala. Where's the wife beater? Gaji. Wear like a checkered shirt, and he has like a huge beard. I'm a cow. That's his look. To the point where when he wants to go out in public and not be recognized, because it's like big.
All he has to do
is not wear that.
Some Clark Kent thing.
And like no one recognizes him. And it's the same thing you're saying, Gudu, to a point where like the people that recognize him meet him and like, why are you not wearing the thing? That's your thing. Like,
we need to see you looking like this.
Facts. But I think it's just Zomazodi. He knew Gudu, you have to have a consistent look, and that's like one of the things that when you look at cartoons, think of The Simpsons. My characters, I'm kind of out of the same exact thing. It's calculated. They know good. Okay. And to talk about center like good. So good. Technically, they can. They can change it every season. As fast and so Komano. Besides the fact that it will be a hustle to like have to change their clothes every time. Komaso people recognition is just simply based on in
a repetitive.
They repeat it so much that you really just know what the blue shirt pink. Stuff like that.
Even it's actually that's because if, for example, let's just say I don't go Musi Tanga the marriage, go Sinta outfit like the question somebody would ask would be like, is this merge?
It's not.
Even though it's the same exact thing, because they're so used to.
You're just used to how it looks, and when you're doing a lot of like personal branding, that's like one thing you have to like look at a lot. Could you what do people recognize me as visually? What do people see me as? And how man do that? Like all the time, and it's very important, and people lose it. Especially and some candy. I would mention names, come I don't want to mention names. You cracked it early, Come on, there's a lot of people who as artists, there's nothing you can identify them
yes.
as.
Authenticity.
It doesn't have to be there has to be something about your look.
Yeah.
Which even like in character design, silhouette.
Yeah.
Muntu, you should be able to recognize someone just by their silhouette.
No
details, just a black shape.
Exactly.
So like Superman, you can tell.
Yeah.
So I think it is one of those things where you need to find something.
I think
It doesn't come.
Like it's harder to find when you're looking for it.
It comes from authenticity. So like this, this stuff, like I said, my guys, is just like I keep saying, you know, if you just bring ego, if you bring ego into it, then you start to think about it into it. Because like even let's say at some reflectors, if we were thinking about it, is this cool? Is this not cool? Will like people like this?
Now, I'll help you with that decision. If you were to think about it, it would be like, nah.
That's what I mean now.
If you would have had to think about it like Moody,
my floral t-shirt.
Like honestly,
the answer will always be no.
The answer will always be no.
But like if you're saying good, okay,
yeah.
And then you're like looking at who you are honestly without like ego.
Exactly.
Then it just becomes
easy.
Yeah, like, oh, let's pick this and like chintu mugajibanga antwenage she's a boa, but antwenage they'll connect with it because like they'll just understand the authenticity that's coming from that thing.
An example of that is graphic designers gather around.
Yeah.
This is something I said it one time. I was like, okay, cool. Who am I talking to? Because my research was like, okay, you need to have something, a hook that talks to a specific group of people. You're talking to someone specific. I was like, okay, cool. I want the first 3 seconds of my videos. With social. Muntu almost is when you kind of force them to watch the thing, just akazama drop off pakati. Algorithm says, this is probably a bad video. Well, I'm going to drop off it's better. If they drop off within 3 seconds, 5 seconds, the algorithm is like, okay, it's not a bad video, it's just not for this person. Cool. Come on, no. Can take a if you're capturing graphic designers, and every graphic designer then is like, okay, cool. Yeah. This is for me. I wasn't thinking about it in that sense. I was just like, okay, this is just a way for me to identify myself. As the graphic designers, I'm calling on all graphic designers. And I started it. It was like, cool. Every single time. And then I stopped. At some point. I was like, cool. It's like old now. I want to do it again. Chief.
What is this?
DMs, bro. Bro, why are you not saying the thing? Like, say the thing.
Say the thing, man.
Like, you need to say the thing, bro. And I'm like, could it into the somewhere? Like, people actually recognize that. And now, even when I meet people and you're the guy that says the thing. Like,
because like if you think about it, like on like some real thing, there's like 8 billion people. But Simon 50, like literally, you could find people who look like Simon 50. Exactly. People would be like,
and speaking of Simon, even my Simon Banda, and Zambia,
so like how?
Not to say you're not like unique. You're unique and special in your own way.
It's fine. I've heard words that say, bro, I met someone and I told them my name and they were like, nah, bro, why are you lying? How your name sounds very generic. Like it's just like you just thought of it on the spot. Could be anyone.
Yeah, it could be anybody. But you literally could be anybody.
Lying to me.
So
you have to find a way to like make yourself unique.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like to be unique, you know what I know is like you have to be authentic. And like authenticity isn't forced upon the people, but it must be forced upon yourself.
And
those are like the battles. Those are the hard things about like about creativity. Just like every day you sit down, you're like, I say, how do I be authentic? No, basically, Gadi, for example, what example can I give? Artists buy cars, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Artists buy cars and or something like that. If you guys saw me with like my check or whatever, and you saw like a Benz, I'm sure because of that, because like it doesn't speak to me. There's nothing wrong with Benzes. Absolutely nothing wrong with Benzes, but like, it doesn't speak to even many Dimazipanga carry.
Represent,
you most likely expect a minibus.
Yeah.
But I don't minibus. And like I can move with that bus and call it the Tawanda bus, and people will like love that thing because like it will be more authentic to me. But like if I buy a Benz and then I call it like the Tawanda, I'm telling you, people will be like, this Tawanda ja namba kuzifira, and even myself I would feel it.
You won't feel real.
This is not me. And then the other people like, who can I give a Cash? You know, guys, like if Cash buys a bus, you'll be like,
What
my Cash, I got good like Lamborghini. They'll be like, cool. Cash, I say, Cash is the cool guy, bro. So it's like authenticity isn't really just about like. It's not really about those things. That's why I brought up with it. I just can't imagine myself in like baggy clothes and shades and chant. And that's why J. Cole exists, you know? J. Cole exists for artists like goes like J. Cole is just on his bike. J. Cole is just like chilling. So with that guy, you can have like hundreds of millions of dollars, and like you can also take this path as well.
I think we were talking about that the other time, man. J. Cole, like from Kumambilo, the whole clean cut. You can tell what this guy is playing a character. It's not being
this
himself.
This
is not him.
But
always when you can tell, okay, cool, this is
fully
actually him. And
fully.
the thing is, drop off your Mumaijiga when you switch it, when you, especially for someone like him who had to look and present a certain way, guy, and then he gets to a point where it's like, hey, bro, let me just be me. If I might get drop off, it's not like you were. It's not like they liked the fake you, or it's not like you were being fake, or you weren't big. Kumano, Antwena, they like the character you were playing. And naturally, Antameno, they will drop off. They're like, he's not playing that character anymore. Cool, I'll move on. Antwena no, because like if you look at J. Cole, for example, even though he looked a certain way or music was a certain way, Kumano, I feel like Mutogudu Mamugonda, at the core of him, as an artist, you will still see that. You still feel that within him. You still realize, okay, it's not just us as people who grow. Commercial artists grow.
You also they change a little bit.
Some things about J. Cole. J. Cole number one wa brush more on it. Kumano, I think after Ada grow, and then he starts taking like a different route. He starts talking about his kids, start talking about family. I couldn't relate. Soon as I see it. Kumano, after Ineoso Moyanga would have take the same direction, Moyanga would have seen like now I'm having to think about family. The songs from like those albums, like what's that album that came out after
For Your Eyes Only?
For Your Eyes Only, For Your Eyes Only now it's like, oh, okay, cool. Makes sense. He's spitting.
It's actually funny, you've mentioned like having a kid, and then like that album also really hitting you.
Because For Your Eyes Only, I didn't have a kid, I didn't have like, and I was just like,
what's this guy saying?
Like J. Cole, come on, bro. Like, what is this nigga? Who is even listening to this stuff, bro? You know? Like, after the fact, it was like, oh, okay, cool. So I feel like, and to my nice embrace that. Jay-Z said it best, if you like my old shit,
go buy my old
Go listen to the old stuff. If you're relating to that stuff at that point,
go in.
What they do with my faces, you know?
My face, when you think about it.
Also, the funny thing is, could he never Kanye J. Cole for him to actually stop the whole character that he was playing at he was going to I think there were BT Awards. And my stylist, Jan, yo, I've got this jacket, fire jacket. I think it was a Gucci jacket. Just came out exclusive. You're gonna be the first one to wear this thing. I just go, nigga, put this on.
Bro.
Yeah, I do it. I want you to just stuff for you, John. Vibe, merging with your red carpet. Tell me, side bill. Niggas, this and I was so annoyed. He was so annoyed. I was listening to the young man. That's what he was saying. He was so annoyed to the point. He was like, you know what? No stylist. I'm just gonna do my thing. This is the vibe I'm going to do. Phone. I'm not again.
Kuloa basi mpepu, kugula t-shirt, kuloa mjamu wanja kutenga ile yake basi.
And those are like the things. Even when we were children at the temple, like I was in Dap, Zuzu. So I was with my boy. And like, basi, there's somebody also came to. Like, I say, you see Tawanda. And I was like, hey, my boys, because I'm always a mudab, you know what I mean? And then I was like, Commander, what's wrong?
What's wrong with
that? And to be a mudab. And then it's those like those types of egos. It's like, because sometimes even the way we discussed last time, sometimes artists are put on like a huge pedestal. I say, man. Dimaro mudab, you know what I
do regular stuff.
Sometimes Cindy mate, day nagenuma ngoyoga but day this and oshe gunko because busy man, like I'm a human being. So it's like, but then again when you like start to bring ego in, then you start to tell yourself things like, but then I can't do that.
I can't do that.
Pressure would that be so bro?
Like
one of the things that I've had to like, another thing that I've had to accept is that like there are gonna be points that to the general public might seem low, or there are going to be things that to the general public might seem unacceptable. And I'm supposed to be fine. I'm supposed to be fine with people saying, it's not a big problem for me, but it's like, when the general public is like, hey, Nimbo is your boys, it's just be like, hey, Chabwino, cool. You know?
I think finding that is one of the hardest things to do. Kudi accepting kudi antuazi nena sintuma kuti. Because I say generally our minds are, we forget easily. Chuma things we hold ourselves back. We fail to do certain things. We forget that people forget. Because I said seriously. Exactly, that's the thing. It's a vicious cycle. Like, okay, if I do this thing and people like it, if I put out this video and people don't like it, I wait 2 weeks. If I put out another video and people like it, they'll forget because they didn't like that one. They'll totally forget. It doesn't matter. So restriction, it's literally within yourself. You can't really blame Antugudi. Or if I don't release a song in like 6 months, my ideas are based on once you put out that next song and it hits, people will forget you took a break 2 years. It would just be like, okay, cool, we fuck with this.
And they just talk about it like, China gonna see a guy go my best.
He's back. I got story and tell me, Sudan I'm gonna say Sudan I'm stuff. And that's the real
people make a story for you.
Exactly.
Facts.
So pressure, I think pressure determines this is the. We should remove pressure from ourselves. We have to remove the ego from ourselves. Authenticity is, because one would think authenticity is something that just happens. I feel like you're right to say authenticity it's something that you need to work towards it.
You have to work towards it.
Good, okay.
What am I?
Because I think naturally, if you're just moving with the flow, you are less likely to be authentic. If you just move with the flow,
with what's going on,
you're less like. You have to take a step back. You have to remove yourself from your being. From a point of view, okay, is this really what I want? Am I doing this because I want to do it, or I'm just doing this because it's what everyone expects me to do?
And that's like a very important distinction, because like we almost feel entitled to like our authenticity, but like it's a painful process. Being authentic is not like easy.
It's not,
because you're going against the grain. Would it like even in like music, Panoba Amapiano is all over. It's taken like the airwaves, right? The only authentic Amapiano artists are authentic Amapiano artists. You get they're not Amapiano artists. But then like the pressure is strong, you know what I mean?
When it's too strong, they have to do
the
it.
pressure is strong, but the pressure is strong.
Yeah.
Like immediately the general reception in my car. Even if it's good, even if it's bad.
Yeah.
Because like that's the thing, like if you're doing something that you're not supposed to do, like people are ready for you to be like, we should tell you.
So speaking of, would you do an Amapiano song? You already have?
I was about to say, I feel like Lost My Forever, the one that I did with Teddy, comes across that way.
As Amapiano.
It comes across as Amapiano, but like it's not. A lot of my music is like fusion.
Yeah.
So like if it's Amapiano, then it's like Afro
With something else. Yeah.
If it's R&B, then I'm trying to add like a certain type of rhythm to it.
I think that's what's happened now. Those elements, Amapiano, have been taken somehow, and now there's got Afro beats,
exactly.
the whole shebang.
Ababa it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's all over the place.
We're like at a very interesting point in like music, like the new sound. We want, even me as a musician, I want to know what the new sound is because like it's very fused. Everything's really more. Even if you hear my album, you're gonna hear a lot of the Amapiano shake because it's just inescapable. It's a very good shaker.
It's a vibe.
And you're like, all right, cool. You know, let's do something. And you can really. There's this thing that I'm seeing. Could like the genres are going towards one tempo. You know, something between like 110 and like 115. So you have Afro there. You have like Amapiano also around there. But my R&B, I'm a 90 BPM and I go to Konzungu and like they'll still fit into those things. So now it's like about music is not even really just the sound, you know, like because you can go from like listening to a rock song to an Amapiano song, you listen to a country song. So it's like, how well are you doing that thing? Like if you're going to do an Amapiano song, is it good or like are you just like trying to do it? So I could say when it comes to genre authenticity, it's a very difficult it's a very difficult discussion.
Do you think, okay, Ujeni, I've noticed Panova, there's a trend where like music has gotten formulaic on music, you know. The pop songs, I mean, I would show if we say let's call it Malawian pop, right? Zukumaka's ofanana. From the instrumentation to the actual concepts and like content, whatever. What are your thoughts on that? Because we're talking about authenticity, and I'm talking about they're making music just to make a hit out of it.
Yes, okay, I can hear that. I see that.
Are you free to give an example?
Of songs.
I
won't mention names. Komano, I'll give you, everyone who's listening to this, I'll give you guys an assignment. Listen to most of the songs. I mean, listen to their songs, and then the concept is usually Agundinyoza, but God's got me. Every single song.
And before you take this, you know what the formula manager, it might seem like it's new.
It's not.
It's been
from the
Malawian music formula.
I was about to say
it's
been now.
You think so? Yeah.
It's been.
It's because the way you're saying Gudi Amaviano and Chanija, it's fused into one thing where it's like. It's almost the same.
For that one, this one is a very political question.
It is.
But it requires an answer. I want to blame the consumer as well as the creator. I think in Arizona, I was listening to like one of my songs. And then I was like, maybe I have to remove certain words. So if let's say we're like, if I wanted to say na 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 na, maybe I should just say na 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 na, because a lot of the Malawian consumer don't seem to want to listen to like a lot.
Yeah.
They don't want to like understand what is happening in the song. They don't want. But also, you just don't even really know what like people want. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And I think anybody who's watching this can just go track what has been a hit.
Yeah.
In Malawi, like the past 3 years, and just compare and see. But of course, nyimbo zimafanana.
It's still random.
Yeah, it's like very random, and it's like, are you being told that this is a hit? Are you deciding on your own that you like this song?
Yeah.
Is it because you're going to the club and then you're listening to this song? Is the church involved? Like, what is it that like people, the consumer in Malawi even like really wants?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say this is because for a long time, country munomo permanently dancing to ama imbaza jikunja kwambira amene just madani tisamamu ka support ya samamu vele. Yet when you just go check like Apple top chan I mean Spotify top chan, Drake Migos chan. So it means like people listen to nyimbo zajikunja, and they want it even more than nyimbo zakuda.
They want the local thing.
Nyimbo zakumana. So like sometimes it always just comes back down to me to like people want to be told that like this is a good song, and then like the artists now, the reason now artists are like creating something formulaic and something like just the same is because like maybe so that's what people want to hear. Yeah. Because if you just try to like step out of the bounds, you just try to do something like creative, like pompano, I think ndani amamunena kandi amidu amamunena kuti amidu samana azibanga zimene zozo amidu azibanga jani kena kwa heard ka malinga mafia makuti then like akomazeze kungoimba amabeno, you know what I mean? It's like now what uyu mumunena kuti wasintha azingoimba danso komena
ngoimba
somwe, you know. So it's like sometimes I look at the crowd that's listening to like music, and if I'm being honest, like the Malawian market is very disingenuous when it comes to like.
Yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, it's very disingenuous. They almost want to build an artist up, and then like they should bring him down.
Yeah,
they should be like,
unfortunate.
So, you know what? We enjoy the fall from Grace Wambi.
Yeah, we love that.
It's how like it's more mama in better movies, more mama film more mama in better good. Okay, film is my ambition. That mama can't build up. Fuck build up character job and get filled but can I go to answer? Man. But this always has to happen as well. They have to fall. They have to fall. They have to come back down to the ground. They have to be humbled. And then, if they're lucky, they'll come back up.
The rise
again. Structure manager, it's my movies that just my structure manager just out of widget. It's what the human mind wants to see.
We crave that.
We crave seeing someone who would figure back. That's why I'm coming now. People will support you when you're coming up.
Yeah.
Tawanda is on BBC.
Then
could have been
like that always happens.
Yeah.
Like it gets to a certain point, and you see it every single time. You've seen it with Zeze.
Yeah.
Zeze just last year.
Ufira.
And then like Queen of Gunchaga, you know, it's like no, but what is better? No, but it was like it's the same person, bro. Like it's the same person. Like why are you trying to create and people actually go to the point of creating stories, creating something old. And maybe that was there's no beef, there's nothing. Come people just want there to be
and I think it's pitiful because it's like it's part of the human condition. So like you're like, okay, arise because you feel that for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, I need to rise. And yeah, you're rising vicariously through them.
Through them, yeah.
Wango figure rising.
So relatability, Jada.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't know if you've noticed this. Especially my movies people like the movie culture, right? And how many movies anyhow, right? People consume a lot of movies here. Anyhow.
Yeah.
Right? No, you can't pinpoint good habit jama movie watchers in the other one.
Yeah, true.
Cool. Come on, every time this is what I've noticed. Every time a Malawian movie is made or a series and what have you. You can go tell Jenny manager for sure I get my room on Sunday. Brother, this is not an information. This is
we watched how many seasons of Breaking Bad? Breaking Bad, by the way, was for our viewers the most liked show. It was number one. Breaking Bad,
it was number one. Yeah,
number one.
Yeah,
Party baby. Niggas cook basi.
Cook math basi.
Ajina Game of Thrones niggas mungo pyomsho na kupana tanana.
Komana chika kaja uchaji Malawi.
What are we teaching our kids? Does this have any bit of our culture? Yada.
Zakaja Sunday. Hey, that's a whole different story. Come on, I think that's a story for another day. Because right, like Zakaja say. People are like, no, Kaja too. It's not. Is this Suzugis and Kaja too? What is our culture though?
We don't really have one that's identifiable that much. And more we've got a length with the Bangi Sojan.
And how much is the rest of my tribe? When
it gets tribal.
It gets
tribal, and then
now once it gets tribal, I don't know what kind of division in Ghana. So you can what kind of divide you can make. Yeah, you can talk about
tribal. Very misogynistic or patriarchal.
Yeah,
it starts to benefit men a lot when culture and stuff. Panaji mama nikakupa atakamaka bena za culture. Ndio ngozo
Kanye.
No, I said Tawanda. No, like on Twitter. I don't know if anyone is watching and you don't follow Tawanda, you guys should do it.
Yeah,
bro. Because you have my interesting takes on me.
I'm a wonder so Bananda.
And normally, mostly I'm Malawi in general, or on a government.
Yeah, the governmental level.
Yes. What's up with that? Like, what are you noticing in Malawi that's gotten you to a point where you can't just keep it inside? For my thoughts and you can just think like
the inside thought.
Zabubo.
Yeah.
It seems good. There's something you don't like that's being repeated across.
I could write a book.
We can start from here.
But I think the first thing that I can say that bothers me about and the reason why I've been speaking or not is like, so you know a little background about myself is that I know a lot of people. Like a lot of people in the school Siana, you know, I've gone to at least 7-8 schools. I've lived in Zomba, I've lived in Planta, I've lived in Lilongwe, I've lived in Zuzu, I've lived in Chinji, I've lived in Mangoji, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're that's just illustrated within the woman and and I've lived with my parents, I've lived with my aunts, I've lived so I've also been in variety of situations. You know, we grew up and Twnda there's no two ways about it. And so I've seen life from different points of views. Malawi's biggest problem is a lot of hypocrisy from the people and various cognitive dissonances in many important social issues. So let's start for example ngati Yama politician. I find it crazy that people even just go on Twitter Ndugumango danda ula za president kabena za a minister or whoever it is. when like behavior and feel background, it doesn't show any. From these guys,
it's different.
Like
from what we're doing,
background, and like for me, it's always been maga by Twitter, but again, so I'm not gonna like mention names, but like I know niggas who like their parents are corrupt. Basi, singaneneso in any other way, and you also amaziwa. You get you amaziwa, but like they have audacity to come online. Lumaza manga complaining, and then the funny thing is like they only complain when like forex igamaso and they chakuza. Fuel or so. Hey, they can't drive their cars somewhere now. You get what I mean?
Now it's a problem.
Hey, I said Malawi has been fucking suffering, bro. Like. But generation but maga Twitter man in the past like 2 years, hey, government this, hey, this, that. Bruh, niggas just go out, niggas just waste their money on like liquor, bruh. Niggas be buying like women things, bruh, like women they don't know, up is 2 meter, 100 meter. Like, it's flexing, crazy.
Man. Yeah.
You can't do in Twnda. You teach osale so ndisaka for wagwira nchito mu company for 20 years. You're expecting your pension. Myers, bro, people are living in their parents' house, getting like 500, 600k. You see, drinks. They don't employ anybody. They don't like. You know, when you employ people, you're giving them money to like help push the economy.
Other people,
Our generation is not doing that. Lifestyle. You know, I know niggas, bro, like. Akupanga money adopanga money koma ndisimena go police life police life
you say go tell
kumene gogo fine pocket watching that's what
it's called.
But then the same Twitter, now here's where the cognitive dissonance is like you gonna make money see nigga, you think
you're eating money here.
Eating money. You're not employing somebody. You create a story where somebody
it's a chain,
was coming from a bad background and then zero. None of that shit is happening. That's especially true. From our generation.
That's
so
true.
like our generation was supposed to do that. So and that's what I'm saying. Good, I know most of the people who are talking about it. I
know, I know for fact.
In fact, people, I remember there was a time in Nigeria we had a space by Twitter by people were talking about corruption, and I was saying, could the corruption shouldn't happen? And then people were like, but you know, some people, they have families of 4. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? If this is the attitude that we have as Malawians. I think Dango put up a poll on Twitter. If you had the chance to steal Magudi money from the Malawi government, would you steal it or not? 80% would steal it.
Yeah.
Then why are we complaining? It's supposed to be happening. Because it failed. Money failed to it's easy. But Malawi. Yes, we've had bad leaders. Man, muntu ngada kukuza nudite bange jijoipa. And no saying we are just like,
let's do it.
You want to?
I remember having this conversation recently. I was complaining, as you're saying. I was complaining about government saying all of this, the usual stuff, the usual conversations that we have. Kumano, I was asked the question. Okay. What would you want to be done differently? And my honest answer was like, nothing. Honestly, because I know for a fact, Goody, there's nothing that can change from voting for someone else. Cool. Those will be the leaders. They will lead in whatever way they feel is right to lead. Yeah. Kumano, at the end of the day, each and every single one of us. Yeah, tiga kabansi, tiga mayonga situation. Ka opportunity ze kalonda ngina ngobeseka. If you ask anyone else, is like,
go and take it.
And the thing is, Timwana Garu, okay, I wouldn't go the extent of good human trafficking. Komano, this I don't I'm going for some stuff and cool, I'll do it. That's what people mentality is like that, and got mentality many might be opportunity. What about the people that actually have the opportunity to do those things? As a banger, so it doesn't matter who you put in place. it really doesn't matter if mentality every single Malawian idiot when it actually does come down to it, hey, I'm just trying to do better for myself. I'll look out for number one. That mentality, man. The rest doesn't matter. Mentality didn't mean
my guy, I try me.
So I think you're right. There's no use complaining. There's no use because you can't expect Antu Hajawa, Aliabaja, Kutazbanga behave a certain way that you personally wouldn't.
Yeah.
And like vocal Hoje but Twitter badge.
That one road traffic bumper. Una road traffic. Suna you complaining about the country.
You know, the people I see complain on Twitter. Never muguzizi you my guy. The people I see complain on Twitter.
The camera,
bro, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Shut the fuck up or like do something
about it.
But do something. I think Pompat Magambe and Zama elections, and I was trying to tell my guy, I say, in the voter. Hey, you're picking the party that is there. What do you mean? But even over time, yes, so she's like, even adjusted.
Understanding what you mean, yeah.
Even I think, I don't know how real they were or how fake they were, but as a chugas nazagas mafana mabanga registered in my ID. So it's like MCP loyalists are like, this is a lie. DPP loyalists are like, this is
that DPP was saying.
So DPP is like, hey, this is the Aguba. All the other parties, they have like, they have a need to say what is this or that.
My guys, I'm elections. Make I spang set up campaign. I want to about stuff. I'm like, dog, like. Really, like zonas would why would they set up a physical camp? Your points and how they're gonna steal. Like
Governor, you also just can't put it beyond Malawi. That's the problem with
that's the thing.
I said we're living in a country where like anything can be true.
Anything can
like,
be true.
Because the Tawanda is Venezuela and like with the Dark Knight, one of my favorite lines in the Dark Knight Rises. So that's the one with the joke, isn't it?
With what?
No, the Dark Knight is the one with the Joker. Rises is the one with
Rises Bane, eh?
Yeah. Okay, so the one with the Joker.
Yeah.
Joker is sitting at that table with those guys after Wab, Hasula, and Challenge. Then he just says, this city needs a new breed of criminal. You get for even Kumara Nogo. Mbava zangu Kumara Nogo ase. Zuguba Nugubangidwa scam. That fertilizers, if I remember Bunobuino, there was a whole deal where they bought fertilizer from a butcher.
Yeah.
Like that, poabasa butcher, most likely amafuna oda Jose Budimagwaja dina. Like the level is crazy. Even the criminals here are not even like building a sustainable structure to make sure that they can still steal it from us 4 years from now. They're just stealing.
By the way, I made a mistake. Nabanga, a previous episode. Nabanga top 5 this Tema series. Now we got Ozark. Hey, I'm very sorry.
What was like
Snaichule? I'm very sorry, guys. Ozark has to be there. More not much Sabojan.
Yeah, Ozark has to be there.
Ukaka wouldn't want to go na Ozark and then look at Malawian people. Umaija wana every single thing good.
This is what's going on.
It's clear. We don't even try. We don't even try. It's like textbook. Okay, cool. People don't even try. Because even the criminals are not even sophisticated enough to take their enterprise back. That's why I'm busy and talk about more. What happened?
Niggas in Kaka Ghana, someone is who to vote for. Yeah. And then some guys like, guys, whoever you vote for, So what did I do? For now, as I'm going to get some baby. I don't know.
What you know? Would you have the dollar jack?
What is the kind of my guy?
What my guy would just say MCB. So not effective when
they're not in our face.
They're not in our face.
That's what I've noticed. Like mostly when we're voting, it's never about who's got like better policies and whatnot. Yeah. It's about finding the lesser evil every single time.
Every single time.
Like, why are we picking evil?
Yeah.
Why are we picking evil, guys?
So I understand you for saying you're not gonna vote because like no,
there's no need. I can't vote in this society, even in this society that thinks like this. Because even let's look at it this way. Okay, my guy, I would down to vote. We don't think about vote. Like there was this other guy, like. He might catch us up on Twitter, but like I think that's one of the first people. I mean, the boy one be the name of Twitter. He even implied that like if failed if I told me the bomb could spread what do you mean? What are you failing to understand from this thing? Like. Sindu gona boji Sindu gona boji we have GPP who like did something so much and I'm figure about blues in Dindama. You ndo kumaklema out in Dindama that Then now we also have another government that people are equally complaining about, like left, right, front, and center. So now, if people are complaining about both of these two things, then they're saying, Takasankeni. Why?
Well, why?
The only choice I have, if I'm a smart person who's isn't that like you get what I mean?
It won't make sense.
This guy, after all of that complaining, he still like found a way to vote for
who is he voting for?
Yeah, who is he? Which abuse does he like?
Kabena, he just wants to for antenna as well. Ongo vote okay. Uyu sindungufuna. Uyu sindungufuna. These are the two big ones. Just to set off the balancing.
Then the vote has been wasted, and even the sacrilege of a vote is that to choose to not vote in here. I believe anybody. Oh my God, voter up at the man says man. It's just to still trick you into voting because like they need votes. Let's imagine a scenario where like the whole country is like
to the vote.
Can you imagine like the whole even the last time kuna ringadizo vote and I was suggesting on us guys everybody shouldn't go to work. If you really want to force the Malawi government to not do anything,
don't go to work.
Everybody shouldn't go to work. My private company they should not be making money. They should be losing money. Watch.
It's insistent.
Watch. FDH would take it 5 days. 5 days FDH take it. Standard Bank. Everybody in Malawi who works in an office shouldn't go to the office. Something will happen.
Honestly, that's all it needs.
That's
all it needs to happen.
But
all
like,
it needs to happen.
Man.
There's no
bro. Like what? I say, bro. Like I've been born. I have like seen elections, craved elections. Could I send the voter now? Kuvota? Nonsense. Literally, anybody with a mind can see it.
And I think Pomo and Twnda, we lost it was, hey, bro, like. We had so much hope for this one.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Jimima.
Yeah.
Come on, there was so much.
So much was resting on.
There was so, especially in the youth, yeah?
Yeah.
Especially in the youth, there was so much energy and optimism. Bruh, this is it. This is the moment. This is where everything changes. This is where everything becomes better. And then nothing. I think Bobo and Twnda figure about,
Yeah.
And like,
do you know, like for that it's like, how can I? What's the best? That promise that Chilima and Co made the country.
Yeah.
Right? If you are not voting for those guys simply to get the DPP out of power, for example, because it was just that. For me, it was like, you guys are going hard.
You gotta go.
These guys, that was some lesser evil type thing. And like even not even lesser evil, but the evil you don't know.
Yeah, the evil.
Lesser
evil, kind of the evil that you don't know.
Let me at least give this. Let's give this a shot. But like, it was all lies because it couldn't have been true. Like, how can fertilizer have been like 4-5? You know, like
technicality. If you look at it from a technical point of view, it's just a take.
And then all of the things that they told us, people willingly believed. And the reason why I want to really touch on that, we have to be very, very careful. Malawians, some of a responsibility. I've seen it from a family point of view. I've seen it in a school setting. Group working. I've seen it office. People don't want responsibility. So when those guys came and then they were like, we're going to make it better. You know, we're going to everything. And it was everything.
Everything. Hey, bro.
Everything. And everywhere there was an improvement.
Yeah.
For us to believe that shit, it means good affairs. So, Timaziwa, come we're like,
yeah.
At least
I think you've hit like a very good point there, because it was more of so do we work together to achieve that. That's why the 1 million jobs thing, even for Fortune, was like, dog, where's the jobs? Our generation is not looking at, okay, let me let me create jobs, let me create a business. Kumano will still go back and complain with it. Where are the 1 million jobs?
Where are we?
Where are we on the 1 million jobs? Like,
that's
a very tricky.
Where are we?
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you?
Where you think I am?
It just boils down to someone else. From a point of view, you want people to like vote for you. You use certain language that's easier that's more palatable. Yeah. Like that people, it'll make people be like, oh, okay, cool. Because if you say, we have to hit 1 million jobs, but we have to all do it together. We have to all put in work.
I'm gonna need you and your homeboys
to hire people.
Malawi.
Get out of here.
Malawi.
What do you mean I should hire people?
You hire me, actually.
You hire me. I need a job. So you lose people. So in the quest of like, okay, people should vote for me and Tajama and Kulas in a certain way. So you can either look at it from a point of view, we can actually be real and say, there's no way a president can make 1 million jobs happen. And you actually know, okay, there's a responsibility, as you've said, which we lack. There's a responsibility to me, okay, what can I do towards this? If I actually look at, if I spread it out a lot around, you hire a God. Which to you, Muna, you don't even think like it's much. Every single month, I'm survive one. I'm a campus. I guess by Mutuno, I guess your mama, I'm a calculator. Almost does we are going to imagine from it trickles down to like which. So, Tizama, if we were to just improve on that, bro, but alias as cancer in a year
it would have a huge effect.
Honestly,
it would.
I don't know if we've said this before, but like if you look at what the American dream is, own boss, big ass mansion, you're good. You're not employed by anyone. You're your own boss. The Malawian dream is find a job in the government. You're set for life. They won't fire you. You're not going anywhere.
Those are the other ones. Those ones.
They won't fire you for incompetency.
Zero. The worst that can happen, they'll transfer you to another.
Hey, I'm a banga transfer.
Civil servant today, bro. Those are the ones.
So let's keep that for the next. Let's keep that for the next episode. That just the guy is gonna be. But yeah, anything else to add, Simon?
No, I just want to kick off a conversation maybe for later. I just want to ask you. This is totally unrelated to
anything.
The intense region we just had. I wanted to ask you of all time, what's your favorite? Like, what's the best album cover for you as a graphic designer and an artist? Yeah. Because for everyone so watching this, I would love to hear your thoughts on that. I think the discussion we should have.
I've even tried to figure out how can
take your time and then
okay, when I'll start, what are you thinking? Yeah? Not the best. What I think was the most impactful album art of all time. Jesus.
Wasn't that you said DJ?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was like, I think that's what kicked off you don't have to like stick to the same formula.
Yeah.
You don't have to stick, because like that was like, bro, what the listen to CD. What is it? That was like crazy for me that someone would do it, and obviously it had to be Kanye did that. Come on, for me that was like, I feel like that was like the most impactful, and from then you can tell with people have just
gone in,
pretty much done whatever they want with the artworks. Before that, everyone was structured. You're leaning jonji about title everyone can just do. I remember but I've seen artwork recent. It's just grey background, texture. I'll find it. I'll put it up here somewhere. I don't know what the album done. It's literally just grey texture. Bass. Not even got parental advisory.
Zero.
Nothing.
Just a great text.
That. And I saw it most recent because like someone was doing a poll on Twitter. Could the albums of the year? And then
even in that type of discussion,
and I forgot my album of the year, album, which was the best album this year, and the one I get Taylor Swift guy, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and then it's just like that.
like, who is this?
Who's this?
Stops you in your tracks, eh?
But those things are happening now, and I believe they're happening now because Kanye had to crawl so that like those things could like fly now.
That's interesting because I was going to mention like Kanye West. I was going to say Karanika, late registration all the way to the graduation.
He had a theme,
the teddy bear.
That
even like from a home marketing and even design perspective, you can keep a character. I think even a Danny Glover, just childish Camino, that outfit, it's because those were
stemming from that,
like a consistent thing behind
it. And besides just the artwork, it was the whole theme, college, and I'm in college. To chase a school. When school you even do that. When school what will it actually get us? Like like the whole thing that he had then was
even the way he was dressing isn't that syntax, from the registration. I'm a student, right?
Yeah.
Student. And I think the preppy look.
Baseball jacket, a bag.
That's crazy.
I say Kanye West is the god. This is like everything of personal branding, and I don't think there's anyone who does personal branding better than him.
As well as that.
So the question was best album cover.
Yeah,
GOAT album cover of all time.
Of all time, Did you find one?
It's definitely the Kanye series.
One of them,
like,
there's what? There's
late registration,
and then we have
dropout and the graduation.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think late registration is like one of the best. It's like the bear is sitting in this standing room,
Oh, yeah, it's
like a door,
yeah? Like that. I feel like late registration is like one of the best ones. It's just, for me, it's just like, maybe there were other people doing that. Like when Kanye did that. But it's nice, it's like cool. Like, the character, you know, for your album, Kanye on their bear, and then like they also had a lot of cool graphics that were not associated with the album much. So like the bear was just doing some my wallpaper,
just around the bear.
Yeah, and it's not a ball, man. Like even the merch, man, like even the merch was crazy good. Like Kanye.
Anambo kanza zintu zikalikale aseka. Nzomwe anthu manoba kumaganiza ndikumoneka nazo madolo kuti aganiza. Kanye West has probably already done
it.
Yeah, facts.
I think even at that time I was trying to say, one of the problems with art, you know, and like even like people who are like trying to pursue art, it's just ego. But that's what will kill your artistry. It will kill you, because even Kanye, I don't know him personally, you know, like he's not my homie. But I could surmise from like all the headlines that I've seen across the years, all my YouTube documentaries. Is that like at too many points where this guy's ego is like, because like the universe or God, whatever you believe in, you do test you, option. So he usually picks a side that his ego has to be satisfied. So even sometimes when he's ranting and telling the truth, he's not doing it for the betterment of like people. He's just doing it with like you know, when he was like ranting about Nike, Adidas not giving him enough money. He was ranting, but then it was like, you know what I mean? It's like,
so it doesn't come off as well.
Yeah, it doesn't come off as well. And like he's talking about serious. It's even another thing. It's like, is that Drake? Is that Drake where he's trying to sue Universal Music?
Yeah.
If you just remove the fact that like maybe he's bitter and he lost and if he just does that type of like fight, Drake, right? On some real thing, he'll help a lot of people in the industry. Because like a lot of people,
it's exposing a lot of
it's exposing somebody in industry. But then like because he's using his ego, like it's coming from ego.
And everyone will look at it from that point of view. But it's just he's just mad.
He's just mad, and like that's how everybody's looking at it. Even though it's just serious, China jacket and they say people,
it'll get lost in the sauce.
People don't care. So like ego, even Kanye West, I think J. Cole said it in False Prophets. Adawa basi mango amvera mango china chili chose analidolo kuma panopa mpaka na usafika pa point where muntu isidolo. Even these whole nitrous things that being talked about, so there are people trying to like get conservatorship of his thing, but that means you've chased away all the people, you know, like Peter, people, but people don't leave where a good thing is happening. I just want to say that.
True.
And they're stuck by you, and then they're like, I know.
Let's go.
Like people would even stay around because he's rich, you know, but like he's rich. People have stayed around and then they're still like, man. Karan. You know, and that can happen to any artist. I'm sure it's even happening to artists in Malawi. And for me, it's just like a warning. It's a warning to myself in the future. Ego, man. That's the root of all evil. AK said it.
Yeah, true.
You gotta make sure you stay away from it. It will bring down great people.
Yeah, true.
Dope.
Right.
I think we've had a lot of food for thought. Yeah, it's time to actually say bye to you guys now.
By the way, where are you going?
For me? Mine is a simple one. The greatest of all time. Omarion, 21.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one? How did
you can pull it up. Pull it up.
Just pull it up. You want to do a suffix?
Nah. Okay,
that's a very good album cover, bro. Like
true.
legit. And okay, just to even speak, you know, a lot of artists like I'm a Pregesa, you know.
This one.
I'm a Pregesa even with
This the one.
Yeah.
Oh, this is actually a good.
Yeah, for me, like that one gets everything right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't my number 2 Ndiga suffix because I love that one.
Yeah,
Like
we saw that. I was like,
which one? The new one.
Yeah, Jenny. The and the one with the Amado.
Yeah, don't go.
Yeah, don't go.
But now I was actually talking about like the very first one, the one where like he was sitting on a car.
Oh, that one.
Hey, that wasn't you.
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like, do you know why that one is like really dope? Because like, I judge art at the time it comes out, not necessarily where it comes from. So like when that artwork came out, did my own, and I was like, J-Cole.
Yeah.
J-Cole, whatever it is.
That's the one you out
Before I sleep.
Yeah.
Like I was like, hey, minutes ago, get us into his easy, man. Like the color grading, this is
fortunate enough, guys, to have been 90 Bambari. Most of the times when he was doing his stuff, I feel like I got like
the entire ocean
when you were doing it, and I was like, it's coming together. I'm like, okay.
No, me, I saw that and I was like, this is
that was dope.
That's like work that makes me like say, okay. Damn, you know, FIFA boys, you can't get away. I saw that and I was like, that's legit.
Because that's the one you meant. You meant the recent one.
The recent one, I love it. But then, like, I know you're capable. You know what I mean? I know good. Simon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I can't do it.
I think you're right on that. Just go to Sunzambili. Tima Dengela. Okay, could wabanga done. Like, if some kid that's just come out and like does that, boom, everyone will be like, what the hell?
Yeah, what is
this? Like, damn, how did he do that? Oh, Simon.
I'm a man.
I It's like it kind of takes away from like how great people think it is.
Yeah.
At the same time, people thinking that is affirming good. You're actually him.
But people are just accepting what I say.
Oh, Simon do you, by the way?
I saw they got to do Simon.
Even here, in like third person, good like, oh, that guy. Yeah. But yeah, that's dope. You know, my favorite album cover of all time. It's a Kanye J-Cole. Wait. I was very close to saying Forest Hills Drive. Yeah, because like that was besides the.
It's iconic.
Yeah, it's iconic. This so iconic. Even Baba Momoy Banga, he milks the life out of it because like he's gone back to that. About Moabanga the original, but no boy, because it was like Moabanga the reboot.
Anniversary
10th.
10th.
Yeah. 10th, I think 10th anniversary. Yeah, 2024, 2014. That boss. Come on, like he used the same house. Nyumba ishanango igula nyumba meja indi ngadi museum. Niggas mava muri ujin zai memorabilia. Yeah. Like that whole thing. So like it was just so iconic. Komano, an artwork that I love, that I saw and I was like, wow, from a design point of view, and I think at point in design time that I really loved was Rick Ross. God Forgives and I Don't. God Forgives and I Don't, and then there's Teflon Don. I'm split between the two. Teflon Don just in there for Wait,
which one is that one in the car? Where it was like in the back of a car, and
then he's leaning.
Imagine Jan.
God forgives Nija.
God forgives it, and I don't. It's symmetry. Like it's like he was in the church.
And
there's like it's just the most symmetrical album cover you can ever get. Like
satisfying,
and like design work and font everything was just like, okay, it's grand. Like I said, Komano. Rick Ross albums.
Teflon Don. Yeah.
I remember
it.
It's clear in my head. I'm like,
I remember the one in the car.
I feel like the car was like
Teflon Dundee.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
this one.
God Forgives. I was in for some mafia, but yours.
I was in for mafia. Yeah, that's
okay.
Hey, did you just say? I was like, dog, like.
Oh yeah. I remember this.
It was so grand. It was like, it was a moment, yeah.
Man was searching. I feel like I'm in a design. I'm in design. Big Mill so Janage. Yeah. Chan and Dreams. I think I need design or MMG.
I think I need design or MMG. Can tell you because like there's actually you more than I'm Jan. Hey, but I don't remember the other title. Remember now, This Is the Life. I think.
I'm a kind that he's leaning over like this.
I'm like back of a car and Johnny.
Trailer. This
Trailer?
one. Yeah.
Okay. That's the one.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah. Really, that's very iconic.
Yeah, that's very iconic of him.
You know,
I also the game with the son and nene. Come on, the Maybach. For some reason,
you know, I never used to rate like Rick Ross, man. Like I think I started rating him like last year.
Oh,
tell
what?
Bro,
real?
like,
how come? Also, why you didn't rate him? Because I understand that. Why you did start to rate him?
Why I started rating him? Because like again, I think it's was for your eyes only.
Yeah.
Where I was now listening to the artist and like what they're saying.
Yeah.
So like for a long time listening at time energy, Twnda, looooong, Twnda, Rick Ross. I was not into I was not into those artists. But like I've had people want to fight me when I tell them what I say. Let's see my movie, bro. Everybody like, I saw it. Then I got away, but like for me that time, like I think I wanted like. I was like in a different space, you know what I mean? Like they're very successful. Like I was successful. Like Drake with I say, Mama hit my phone up, say rap's no good, and I'm like,
yes, this is me.
That's what's up. You know what I'm saying? And this one like I really relate with like J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake, my coming on this, my dad.
I think the funny part about that is, I think most of us, it was like music is just for relatability.
Yeah.
Time in the end, that's when you could listen to Wayne. You could listen to like Rick Ross. It was just like,
cool.
You know for a fact, I will never do any of these things that he's talking about doing. Come on, it's just so cool that he's talking about doing it. Yeah. Come on, I've got a point in there. Okay, now you want something that you can relate to, and then like that kind of brings you back down to like, okay, who do I listen to? And I think so.
What is this guy saying?
Like when I started listening to music, is when I started listening to like J. Cole and stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay, cool. He's talking about stuff that's
this
is me now. Oh yeah, this is me now.
Like even like philosophies, and I always like respect like J. Cole, Drake, even Kendrick. Is what they did sometime at the beginning of like their career. Is that aside from just talking about Zintuza Cousins, like they started to talk about like philosophy. So even Zintuzodi, you don't have to necessarily relate, but you'd be like, okay, all right, maybe Jan women, Jan men, they were like small philosophies in like way you can like start like picking up Zintuza. Like I even remember like let's sing at the K dot Cody. I think maybe that's like a little bit too recent. But even like things like the one in front of the gun lives forever. You know what I mean? It's like,
alright.
It's like, hey, damn.
Actually, Drake said, I could load every gun with bullets that fire backwards, and you probably wouldn't lose a single rapper.
Like,
it was like,
okay,
what's this nigga on?
What did you say there?
Why did you say that? Well, how do you? It's J. Cole saying stuff like I was thinking it,
all of the stars.
It was hey man, it's gone. It's gone.
I thought it was gonna be the flow code like the shoulder of gold digging hoe when the broke nigga approaches. I see when I heard that I was like, no, those guys are like some of the. I'm so sad about the beef, actually. You know what I mean?
It kind of ruined
people's reputations.
Now,
people have to pick, but like, man, on God, those are like some of the illest people who have ever like touched the mic to rap, bro.
Exactly.
Like Drake, I got a rap. Even like when people are on this like, hey, ghostwriters.
Yeah.
But that guy's written songs for people. Like it's a clear thing that like Drake has written hit songs for people. So it's obvious that he's like a great writer.
Drake and Kanye. another line yeah Drake and where in Ndwaza, and it was so deep and it's so real that even by I still see it. It was like on a song. It was something like, he was like asking me for the code to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Just to show me so they can log into the Instagram or something. Just to show me pictures of their friends. Just to tell me they ain't really friends. Like, like that's so real with how female origin is. It
female
like, it's like, oh okay, oh this is what. It's like, and you look at it and you're like, this is how. Sometimes you actually think, how is he deep in this kind of thinking about this for someone that's in his position? It for command below, if they're profound, command below, it's like, okay, cool, they're actually living their real life. Yeah, they're like, like so deep into their career at a point where Zambia is almost around them. It's just because they're who they are now, and they're still managed to like
to say things.
Okay, and how can they can pick that up? It's like the coolest thing.
It's interesting that you say that because like Drake, that's another victim of ego. You know what I mean? Like that's another victim of ego in the game, and that's like how Kendrick was able to like finish him. Because like he'd fall into ego for like the past 5-6 years. So like he's even forgotten that he can rap like that. But no, but when you like listen to Drake, that element is Johnny. That element is missing.
Yeah.
But many like when you listen to J. Cole and Kendrick, it's there, and the reason why is because like Kendrick, I'm a soul. Like he will literally remove himself from like all of this stuff. So like he goes somewhere, he learns things. He can be deep within like the cycle of like what feel a day. But even though people are because feel a day, he's just not available. Wouldn't feel a day. When like Drake has been giving it. You know
I said Drake and so it's why one of the reasons why I defend him in the whole beef thing.
Yeah.
Drake is always there for me when I need him.
There's always honestly, a Drake song.
Drake is always there for me. Like Jabano, whatever the Drake is always there for me. So from a fan point of view, it's like, hey man, Jabano, whatever you might say. Komano, when I need this person to be there for me, he's there. There's something that he puts out that will make me feel good. Komano, this person better, they can be better or whatever, better MC or whatever they are. Komano, when I need them, they're like nowhere to be seen. They're like gone for 5-6 years. So like, which one do I pick? I always go the.
And I think that's the whole Kendrick versus Drake thing. I think it was stems from it. But I don't think this should be like a versus. I think if Drake hadn't positioned himself as like a cloud chasing guy, he would have had like a more favorable outcome. In this like bad position. But it's ego, man. Like, and I really want to warn people against like ego. You know, that's probably what messes up a lot of our lives. It's like we're not doing the right thing because like we're thinking about like how it's gonna serve us. There's like thinking, oh, will this benefit me? And will it not hurt me? And then there's just like wanting to just serve yourself in like every single situation. You should come out on top. You should be the winner. Hey, winner this as a that's like what's killing a lot of artists. And like when the moment you see an artist like crumbling and whatnot, if they haven't been busy like propagating the truth, then it's because of their ego. But otherwise, other than that, the other thing that can bring you down quickly is like telling the truth. If you're busy just like, people will shut you down.
Easily.
They'll shut you down.
That's crazy.
It is. You can't win. Come on.
You can't tell the truth.
And then I'll still go back to that. Just have to focusing on authenticity. Just focus on like just being yourself. As a result of whatever other elements that you have zero control over. If you're doing the right thing to you, if you're looking at it from am I being true to myself, and you're still being true to yourself, the rest doesn't really matter. It might seem like you're taking L's, it might seem like you're losing. At the end of the day, when you're back, when you relax back, you're home, you're chilling, you're looking at yourself.
Yeah.
You're more content with the person you are if you were authentic.
I
and
want
real.
to like double down on that. Like,
Yeah.
if there's any last thing that I'm gonna say, it will also like just touch on that. Would I say, man, you're supposed to do the thing. You know what I mean? Like, and it should be ugango sempanisa bas. Like whatever blessings were set for you, they never come to you. Like, I've heard a lot of people talk about like, as well, like my monitoring spirits, people who block blessings, my gatekeeper, chan. All of those things exist. You know, I guess people can monitor you and try to chan. Come man, if you're really, really doing something, like you're really doing it, I say, I'm telling you, it's so much magic, like even in like this whole music thing.
Yeah.
The moment I just started applying myself, could it like just before the Live and Unplugged. So like I'm a singer, I trust in my voice. But like before the Live and Unplugged, I wasn't practicing. I wasn't doing my vocal. I wasn't doing that. So like Mtameni was like, I said, guy, we have to get in on this stuff to get into practice. So like I got in. So like it's like 4 hours a day type thing. Sometimes I miss days. So with but just even the opportunities that have come from the moment I decided, Woody,
I'm applying myself.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Just vocal practice, even before like saying good in the bangers, I'm a beat. And like the reason why I'm saying is like I've even been tweeting recently a lot about like divine coincidence. I keep saying things like that. I say, but my jitiga is interesting as like is what I say, have I willed the
See.
Am I willing the universe to do is just as easy? But then when I like sit down and really think about it, it's only because I'm doing. You get only because I'm doing. So okay, my guy. This year I was going to say Ufuna the band is a band. Ufuna the Zingo Banga tour and Zingo Banga tour and the band. So I want my band to not be good in Ndugui Imbira, and the guys tend to banga practice for 3 days. Izingo Kaudi Igubanga Jan, Igubanga practice.
Yeah.
So like my girl was asking me, actually Orama was asking me, it's like I say, come I want that, like if you're paying people to just practice, won't you like need good my gig gadgets, with my gig gadgets, take it and chan. And I was like, that's a great way to think about it. But if I just do it from Zinzomenda Kandu and boom, Ndigama Jambula my video go practice which. Ndigama banga tweet with guys heading to practice. Ndigama banga Zinzumene Zija. And as number on the banga book. And how I'm hit up, they'll be like, I say, hey, this guy is like, have you seen him with his band? Like, let's book him. There's nothing, bro, like, there's nothing that happens without you doing it. Bass. And like, and my name, bro, like, I see you can go on so many podcasts and some other guy saying this. You know what I mean? Some other guy saying, just do it.
Yeah. It's always said. Commando is the only way.
That's the only way, bro. Like, bro, I want to tell everybody anything, bro. Anything. You
just have to do it.
Just do it. Even the podcast, bro. Like, even those just designers gather here.
Yeah.
The podcast is when they about even that designers gather here. But like, I saw you do that the first time. I was like, all right, cool. Deal. Bas. Ndugona so. Ta. Okay. Ndugona so. Ta. Bro,
thing.
I saw you do it, and then when you said that I wasn't shocked.
Yeah,
you get. Yeah. I was happy, but I wasn't like.
You were in shock. You were like, okay, cool.
I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah. This was coming.
Because like, what else is gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly.
What else is gonna happen, bro? Like if you're just doing, bro, and the reason why I was bringing it back to my career is because I wanted to tell people who are like maybe musicians also as well. Go to the studio, record, drop, market. Season end again.
It's okay.
We'll go again.
Just keep going again, bro. Like I say, my show, you know, perform my show. Odi Basi, mention any other artists, they wouldn't have performed at that show because the people at that show wanted me.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a matter of Kudi. It was just like they are my specific blessing. They're not anybody else's blessing. But Nabanga perform like my birthday party at Tadu in one day. You know, like kujoga ugu. But in the cover, wedding and what? You know, like wakuti man sana kamuhita wakuti kena kuziwa kuma iyeyoso akubanga perform. I'll go on Twitter and then I'll just see KOK is performing at some other wedding, some other things. The game is for everybody who's doing it. Bas. Anybody who's doing it, chako chirimu.
Okay.
Bas.
Dude. Couldn't have said it better myself. Right? Like this is just,
that's deep.
You just brought it all together. Maybe before we close, what's next for you? Like currently, what are you working on? What's dropping soon? Or is that design?
Design. And now I've like entered the level where I'm setting up systems. So it's more about I'm now a full creative director. Now nice. It starts from Ugo. Chimas and Beza Baba. I am now maybe more interested in typography. So like I'm setting a lot of the typography. Like my illustrations, does it look? I know would I perform at like 60%? And I don't wanna, I don't wanna be to 100%. But okay, I like this. Let's do this and this and this. But the way I look at it is like, I've been like in this game for 12 years. I have the leverage. I have the leverage to employ people, and like they can look at the rate card that I have as a company and look at their salary and be like, "You're making more money," and be like, "Yeah, we all I am definitely making more money than you guys because like I've just employed you." I'm not like hiding my business. I don't bank. I'm very aware. Ndina bank and chido yanga leverage. If I'm employing somebody and guaranteeing them a salary at the end of every month, then I can take a particular cut above. But then obviously so to kubanga ngati exploit, and to my goal is like after 5 years people become partners. People become partners. You also get a share of things. You bring in somebody else. Bas tizingo banga tizafa again agoso musimu we have to build sustainable things. Too many people like die and then things end in Malawi. They know I don't want that.
And it starts from systems more than
just create a proper system. This is what I've learned. Here, steal my company. You know what I mean? Like steal it, take it from me, because like again, I'm not like paying everybody the same exact amount that I'm getting. So if I'm also not making people, it's all about dynamic. So now we've reached my system level. We have like 3 designers. My website, and we're looking for somebody who's just like specifically an illustrator, and then we want to sit down okay, let's create what this company what this company means. So when it comes to design, that was another acceptance, was like design sindizi guida and then this
and you should be willing to accept
this is the design.
Okay, cool. And when I with my designers, especially when you've been in the game for for many years, you just want to be right. You want what you know as right to continue to be right. Okay, if the younger designers think this is the way, maybe this is the way.
It's the way.
Like maybe this is what's there now. Like you need to get to a point where that region. Okay.
Album. When is the album dropping, bro? You've been teasing, bro.
So I'm not saying when the album is gonna drop. Like
it'll be with us.
An exclusive, guys. I'm sorry, I really.
But we can do a premiere of one of the songs they said. Definitely. But the album is coming through. Only thing that I'm doing is waiting for people to send me verses.
Send the verses, guys. Please.
People need to send verses, and I'm actually in Blantyre for the next week and a half to finish off a lot of things.
Awesome.
A lot of the technical aspect of the album is in Blantyre. I just need to be at people's throats. And you have to create my environment that are conducive for and so sometimes if you're really gonna do something, the universe will lay out how it's gonna happen. So like when I was leaving Zuzu, before these shows up at Twnda, I was just like, I'm gonna go to Blantyre and dig up an album. Even before that, I'd gone to Els. I said, I'm gonna go to Els. I'm gonna put the album together.
So Zakwe Els Nabanga.
Zakwe Els Nabanga. The album, we have all the demos that the album requires. So like, I even have second verses recorded for songs where I have features. Just in case
Someone
people,
like-
They don't
but then I really,
Hey, you have to.
But then the only thing is like the reason why I'm like still holding out is like it can't be IMB if like it's just like a bunch of my second verses, you know. So it still has to be everybody who was supposed to be on the thing still has to be on the thing, and I also have to understand that like people are doing things. And then maybe in because you can't also just send somebody a verse. Maybe sometimes you have to tell people, okay, Nili bila taxi, chanchani, agagula pizza, you have to make it happen. So we're talking about millions of kwacha, and they have to come from somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they come as Gutega, Zitega.
All right.
To drop album, there's no flaking.
This year.
There's no flaking. This year, this first quarter.
You say on Twitter. Marian,
IMV Volume 1 will be with you very shortly.
There we go.
You didn't hear it here first, but you heard
it
it.
again.
All right, man. Anyway, I think that just gonna be it, guys. This was good. It's time to close. As you heard it from him, soon. It's coming soon. Design also is doing it. I love the systemization. Like, he knows that. When you're saying that, I was like so happy in that moment because I feel like that's where the direction that design and creative should go. Like that's the direction that we're going, and I'm glad that some people, you included, are actually taking that route, taking that direction of like, and actually getting people, employing people. That's as we said, economy. Bigger pictures don't bank up like economy. We're doing our part. Yeah. So that's good to hear. So it's been good. Shout out. He's our usual guest. He'll be here again.
I'll be here again.
Yeah, man. But anyway, like and subscribe as usual, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.